Every year, Americans spend billions of dollars on elaborate alarm systems to protect their valuables and loved ones. But do those systems always work? Matt Mahar investigates allegations that a mother of 4 was murdered after an alarm system supplied by the #1 security company in the country failed.
It's the largest home security company in the country, ADT, with systems in more than 5 million homes.
I woke up in the middle of the night, terrified.
The terror depicted by the mom in this commercial echoes the real-life fears this woman had. Terry Lee, a widowed mother of 4, turned to ADT to keep her family safe. Her family says that turned out to be a tragic mistake. Terry feared for her life because she and her children were being stalked by this man, an ex-boyfriend named Stephen Van Kuren. She was in tears when she complained to the police.
It's creepy to have somebody following you home, even if you do know the person.
Just 2 months after Terry complained to the police, Van Kuren turned violent, attacking her in her home in this affluent Minneapolis suburb. He was charged with assault and making terroristic threats.
Did you tell her you were going to kill her?
I might have.
After just a few days in jail, Van Kuren was released on bail. So what did Terry do? Just 2 days after his release, she bought what she thought was the best security system money could buy from ADT for more than $2,400. Terry's sister Vicky says the system helped her feel safe.
We believed in that system. I think that's the only reason why any one of us slept at night. We felt she and her children were protected.
The security system included motion sensors, blast break detectors, and a cellular radio backup to alert ADT to call police in case the phone line was cut. Her sister says Terry thought any intrusion would lead to an instant alarm.
Every door, every window, every nook and cranny of her home was protected by her ADT system.
She also had her boyfriend, a trained marksman named Tim Hawkinson, stay at the house with a gun by their bed.
All they needed was a warning. Tim was armed, he had a gun, and they were ready.
But it wasn't long before their worst fears came true. In the middle of the night, Terry's stalker snuck up to the side of the house and used wire clippers to cut the phone lines. But Terry's family says no alarm went off. He broke this glass door with a crowbar and walked up the stairs past 2 motion detectors. Still, her family says, no alarm. Then he ran into Terry's bedroom and started firing, killing Terry and her boyfriend. Her terrified little boys hid in this closet. Her 2 daughters fled out the front door, finally, they say, triggering an alarm. 12-year-old Taylor spoke to 911.
He was just whacking bullets everywhere. And he got my mom's boyfriend too. I think he's dead.
It failed. It didn't do what it was supposed to do. They screwed up.
Vicky, who is now raising her sister's 4 kids in addition to her own, is suing ADT, accusing the company of fraud and false advertising. Her lawyer, Bill Harper, says Terry's alarm system was not properly designed, installed, or programmed.
If the alarm had gone off, it would have gone off here, it would have gone off in the basement, it would have gone off outside so the neighbors were aware of the lights and the siren.
When the phone line was cut, according to the lawsuit, this is what should have happened. Security expert Jeff Zwern says the alarm should have sounded instantly, and he says that's not all that went wrong. Zwern, who was hired by Vicky's lawyer to give expert testimony for the lawsuit, tested Terry's security system. He says it failed catastrophically.
The control panel failed, the radio failed, the glass break sensor failed, the motion failed. What else could fail? I mean, it was almost like the system wasn't even installed.
ADT denies the allegations in the lawsuit and says while they are saddened by the tragedy, the security system was not to blame. In court papers, the company also cites their contract, which limits their liability to just $500, and says that's even if the system fails due to the company's gross negligence.
But complaints about ADT go well beyond one tragic case. Here in Bel Air, California, some of Hollywood's heaviest hitters say the company has failed to keep their homes safe.
Former studio executive Sherry Lansing and her husband, Oscar-winning director William Friedkin, were burglarized despite their $25,000 ADT system. They filed a class action lawsuit. It claims burglars intentionally targeted homes with ADT signs because of the company's deficient home security services and response times.
It's a virtual welcome mat for robbers who want to target certain ADT homes.
ADT says the couple's alarm system did not fail, but in a letter to Inside Edition blamed an employee who they say did not follow established policies and procedures. To see what ADT might be promising potential customers, we invited an ADT salesman to discuss a security system for this house and tape the appointment on hidden camera.
We know at all times what's going on.
He promised us the system he was designing was basically burglar-proof.
They cut power, you have backup. They cut phone lines, you have backup. But yeah, it's pretty much burglar-proof if you do a radio backup. There's nothing else they could do.
It's disappointing what I see here.
We asked the alarm expert hired to testify in Vicky's lawsuit for his opinion of the claims made by the ADT salesman.
It's real baloney. He's making representations that are way beyond the scope of how these systems function.
As for Terry Lee's children, her sister says they may never feel safe.
Obviously, there's one man that pulled the trigger, and I know that. But ADT gave him a clear path right up to her bedroom. They might as well have opened the door for him.
ADT says it has what it calls an unparalleled record in helping to safeguard millions of customers' homes. They say they are investigating the claims made by the sales representative featured in our report and will, quote, take appropriate action, end quote, once they verify the facts in the case.